Oh, YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark, and I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep. Drank too many Red Bulls before I tried to lay down and go to bed, playing Marvel Rivals with the boys. But anyway, I was in bed and I was scrolling Twitter, X, whatever you guys like to call it. I call it Twitter. I'm not ever gonna call it X, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, though, while I was scrolling, I saw a bunch of the stuff that got released today, or maybe it was yesterday, but assuming most of it was from today, for the new season of Black Ops 6 / Warzone. And, just it kind of got me thinking, so I got up and I said, let me just go ahead and make a video and just kind of, talk about this. But, we're at a place with Warzone that I have never seen before. I've seen a lot of people, and when I say people, I mean like the main content creators and people that are, in the Call of Duty community. I've seen for a long time where people have complained and stuff like that, and they said their grievances with Call of Duty, but they continued to go back to the game. They continued to deal with it and put up with it. But the point that we're at now, I think that a lot of us are starting to realize is that we're basically in a bad relationship with Call of Duty. It's kind of like if I have to give an example, it's like if you're talking to somebody, you've been talking to them for a long time, you've been in a relationship, whatever, and you guys are on and off again. It's like it's not good for you. It's extremely toxic. The person just keeps telling you, oh, listen, I'm sorry. You get back together, things will be different this time. You know what I mean? And you just keep telling yourself, oh, well, maybe they've changed. Maybe we've learned from our previous mistakes, whatever the case may be. You get back together, things are fine for a couple of days. They're doing all the stuff that they should be doing and said they would, and then ultimately they just they slip right back into the same place that they were. And COD, I feel like, is actually worse than that because they don't even have like that grace period where they actually are attempting to kind of do the things that they said they were going to work on or whatever the case is. And I think what has been COD's biggest asset this whole time might actually end up being their undoing. And what I mean by that is that they've been a household name for so long, so long, longer than any game that I can really think of. And yeah, there's a lot of other games that have been household names and stuff that have been around longer than COD. But you take something like Halo, right? Halo has not been taken seriously for a very long time, and that's their fault. Nothing else. But COD, though, it's been a household name for over 2 decades now, right? And then you couple that with the fact that they had the success that they had from Warzone and the timing of it being the perfect time to release because of when it released, and we all know what that was. But they've been allowed for too long to just not really care about their base and just to not take care of things that we all know are issues that we've complained about and talked about for so long. But like I said, it's partially our fault. We all continue to, any of us that do play the game, we continue to go back. We've continued to buy cosmetics and battle passes. And what that's told them is that it's fine. Whatever the issues were, they weren't a big enough problem for us to want to stop playing, right? And don't get me wrong, I can only imagine how hard it is to combat cheaters in a game, right? And today's current, time and stuff like that. It's not even like it's just a PC thing. Like, people, if they really want to, can hack on console now. Like, it's just the day and age that we live in, right? And it's a cat and mouse game where you create an anti-cheat and people find ways around it. It's just what it is, right? Kind of reminds me of like that scene from The Dark Knight where Commissioner Gordon was the Dark Knight. I think it was no, it was just Batman Begins, where he was telling Batman, he was like, we get this, they get that. You start dressing up like a bat and jumping off of buildings, and now we have the Joker, right? So it's like, I feel like that's kind of where we are, unfortunately, with hacking. But you're also not going to convince me that with all of the tools and capabilities that we have nowadays, with as strong as AI is and kernel level anti-cheats and stuff like that, that they're just completely 100% incapable of stopping people. I get very subtle hacks and stuff like that. Like that's one thing, to kind of be having a hard time to kind of find a way around. But to have people blatantly rage hacking and for them to be able to be on the board for, the top, 100 players or whatever the case may be, stuff like that, just completely unacceptable, And it's not just hacking; it's just lots of things. It's lots of stuff that you could fill up a phone book with in regards to things that they just don't seem to care about, right? And one of the biggest grievances I know a lot of people they have is that there's always a new season. The store is always working. They're always able to get these bundles out and stuff like that, religiously. But when it comes to anything that's an issue, it's like it has to get to the worst case scenario before. And when I say worst case scenario, I mean just like worst case scenario before they'll actually do anything to start making amends or rectifying any of the issues that they have. And also, because I'm a fair person, so I try to think about things from everyone's perspective. I get that the art department and the people that handle the store probably and the bundles and the new seasons and skins and all that kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure they don't have anything to do with what goes on in regards to anti-cheat and all that kind of stuff. But you're talking about a company that is was worth close to $100 billion when they were bought out, and now they have the backing of Activision Microsoft, because they're owned by Microsoft, which Microsoft is probably one of the biggest companies in the world, worth multiple trillions of dollars, right? So to try to convince me that, you don't have the ability to, really fix a lot of these issues, and that you can't get some of the brightest minds available to be able to kind of counter a lot of this stuff that's going on. I can't believe that, right? I can't take that seriously. And, I'm usually the kind of person that's on their side when it comes to when people are saying like, oh, well, Call of Duty's dead. Call of Duty's dying. They lost 100,000 players out of millions. So, that must mean that the game is like, no. But at the same time, though, you are seeing a very big shift, right? You take someone like Aiden, for example. If you guys don't know Aiden, he's one of the top Call of Duty like players in regards to just constantly. You always see him on the ranked list, like at the very top. He's been one of their biggest advocates since he made the switch from. He was originally a Fortnite player and switched over to Call of Duty and has consistently no-lifed the game. Which I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just mean that's my way of saying that he plays the game all the time, 24/7, doesn't really play other content. If he does, it's very, very short-lived, and it's usually just because it's, very big and interesting and new, but then he's right back to COD, right? And he's come out numerous times now recently and just been like, look, until COD gets to a point to where, they can actually start taking this game seriously and fixing a lot of the issues, and I don't have to load into a game and just get hacked on all day long, then, a ranked game, then I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. And there's like the joke going around where he was on like I think TikTok Live doing like the AI kind of thing, where people get gifts and then they they sit there and act out whatever the gift is and stuff. It's a really popular trend, but you take people like that, and these are people who have dealt with COD in its worst state possible and still stuck by it, and I feel like that's a good representation of the average, diehard Call of Duty fan where, we're just getting to a point where it's like, come on, man, like, what are you doing? I mean, there's only so much that an individual can take before they go, why am I this isn't even fun for anymore. Like, gaming at the end of the day is supposed to be a fun experience. Even if you're someone who's extremely competitive, you really get into it. You're not just a casual player, or if you are just a casual player and everything in between, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be the escape from your life. When I come in here and I close the door to my office, like I did right before I started recording this video, this is my, this is my, like, I don't want to say safe place, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, this is my domain. This is, everything in here is set up for me. It got the desk with the keyboard, the controllers, the dual monitors. I got behind me, all my comic books and figurines and stuff like that. A whole section for Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z, Marvel, DC, you name it, right? Like if it's something I enjoy, if I like it, it's in here. This is my space. And gaming is most of the stuff set in here is for gaming, right? Like this is a space where I come here, I'm supposed to game after I had a long day taking care of my family, my kids, the dog, the cat, dealing with issues outside of this house and stuff like that I have to deal with. I'm supposed to be able to come in here, close this door, hop on the game, and have fun. And with COD for a long time, I was just not having fun, not having fun at all. It was just the same thing. They hype it up. Oh, we got a new season coming out, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're going to have this. Okay, you get that stuff. You complete the battle pass. And then what? You get hacked on? Like when you're trying to sit here and actually play the game legitimately. And then you got people spinning around in circles, just aimbotting you out of the sky before you can even, really materialize. So it's just a situation where I used to get really amped for new seasons of COD, as soon as they start saying, oh, we're releasing this new thing and this new thing, it's like, oh, is this going to be the meta? Are they going to buff this? Are they going to? I saw a video the other day and apparently they haven't even nerfed the XM4. The XM4 has been meta since the game came out. I mean, what are we doing here? Same exact meta. You're not taking care of any hacking. There's nothing really going on in the game. There's no reason to make me want to be like, yeah, I'm ready to load into this game and I'm really going to enjoy this and I'm really going to have fun. No. And, they come out, they do the same thing every couple of months after so much backlash. They come out on Twitter, they make some, post or whatever. And they go, oh guys, look, we know that, you're not really feeling us right now. And, just like I said before about being in the bad relationship, right? They send you some long text message. They tell you everything that they think you want to hear. And then once the season comes out and they got you back in, their good graces again, it's like, okay, we're back to popping these bundles out and we don't care about anything anybody's got going on anymore, And it's to the point to where I don't even really care enough to cover anything that's going on. Usually around this time, if you've been following this channel, for the last year or so, even before then, that's what I would be doing. My TikTok prior to Marvel Rivals release was enough. It was 99% Call of Duty. Same thing with this page, 99% Call of Duty with maybe some talk about a new game sprinkled in there every now and again or something like that, or some type of gaming news. But ultimately, it was just Call of Duty, what was going on with them, different bundles, new meta weapons, whatever the case may have been. That's what it was about. Right. And now it's just kind of the only times that I have any type of thing to say about COD is just kind of what are they doing? What's going on? What are you thinking? And I feel like that sentiment has to be kind of just how most people are feeling. Right. And like I said, I'm fully aware that there's always going to be the super casual base of COD fans, right? Because it is such a big name. When people go into a store right now and they don't really know that much about gaming, or they do, but they just kind of whatever, they're variety gamers, and they go to grab a couple of games. You know what they're probably going to grab if they have 3 or 4 options? COD's probably going to be in there somewhere, right? And then they'll throw in NBA 2K or maybe some FIFA, whatever else, whatever the top games are that you're going to be able to find on a shelf that aren't free to play or whatever, right? And that's fine. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, though, people that, I said, are, the really diehard fans for COD who live, breathe, and eat it, they all just kind of seem even if they are playing the game, they're just miserable. Tune to any streamer right now playing the game and they just seem miserable. And if they don't, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're probably faking it because they know that if they go to play anything else, their base is gonna be yo, what are you doing? This ain't it. This ain't why we subscribe. This ain't what we're tuning into. Even with me, I've put up with it through so many different instances where I was just this is getting irritating. I'm having to find reasons to want to play this game, and eventually I just was you know what? Marvel Rivals is out. I'm really enjoying Marvel Rivals. Forget it. I'm just switching over lanes with content and stuff like that. But every now and again, I still come back. Just once again, if you're in a bad relationship, you might be in a new relationship with a girl that you like and stuff like that. But every now and again, you can't help yourself with being man, if my ex would have been like this, I would have stayed around, But yeah, sometimes you got to suck it up and keep it pushing. But like I said, the stuff that I saw for the new season, it just it's, it just kind of feels like, they're just trying to do whatever they can to get people to not worry about stuff and build that hype up. And I'm not seeing it. Any videos that I see for content for COD, views are way down. Comments for under any video, like any post on like Twitter or anything like that, maybe it's like 40 comments, whereas there used to be thousands of them, just basic things that I've been noticing. But, like I said, for me personally, I'm not really feeling it, man. I don't even know if when the new season could, like, that's one thing in itself, right? Usually I would have all this information already. I'd be able to tell you everything that's coming out, all the skins, the best bundles, what day the release is for the update. I don't even know what day it comes out. The only thing I know is that it's probably sometime in February, just because I remember them saying that they were going to do the update to the anti-cheat. And somebody who was talking about it was saying that, like, that's not even going to be until the new season doesn't even start until February. So I'm assuming it's sometime there or whatever, right? And that's usually how it is like, usually they'll start releasing this information about 2 weeks out, week and a half out before the actual like update comes out to kind of build that excitement, anticipation for it. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to care enough to want to play it, to be honest with you. I mean, I might jump on for a few minutes, but the thing is like, I'm not really like that with games. If I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play it, right? Even if I'm playing, like I'm having to split my time between two games, I'm already kind of like mentally invested that I'm going to be, playing this game, getting all the information, yada, 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 right? Whereas, like, I don't really care. Anything that I've seen about it has been, like, against my will, you know what I mean? And I've just been, like, scrolling, and it's come up, right? But it's not like I've been, like, actively, seeking it out and making videos about it myself and stuff, because I don't care. I'm only making this right now more as kind of like, I guess, venting, or, it's like, just to kind of, see where everybody else's like mindset is with it, and that's the thing too. Like, let me know in the comments, like, if you guys want to see COD content, if you're still interested, if you feel like, people are just making a big deal out of it, whatever, like this is an objective channel. If you don't have to agree with me. I don't take these things personal, right? If it's just me, if I'm just burnt out because I have been playing it, no life in it since, pretty much, Modern Warfare 2019 came out, let me know. But if you also agree and you think that it's just, we're at a point with COD where it's just enough is enough and maybe it's time to back off, tell me, don't waste my time on getting battle passes and stuff and new bundles and stuff to show off to you guys and everything, or gameplay or anything, also you can let me know that too, but like I said though, me personally, I'm not really feeling it. I don't even really honestly care anymore. I'm just kind of like, what are you guys doing? But I also don't want to be one of those channels, I'm not going to say names, but you got some other content creators out here that's literally all they do all day long is talk about COD, but they can't stand it though, right? Like, with me, I feel like maybe there's still kind of like this glimmer of hope that magically, I'm going to wake up and they're going to be like, yo, they installed some anti-cheat and it's people actually just can't rage hack now on rank and you can actually play it. And I saw too, that's another thing too that I want to talk about, is like, I saw that they were saying that they were going to make it to where you can turn off cross-platform for consoles, and it's irritating because I've played on console for a long time, right? It's like I'm not on console anymore. I've been on PC since last year, but I took the time to invest because I have one PC that I use just for like editing and stuff like that. And whatever, and then I have like my actual like gaming PC that is solely for gaming. I don't do anything else on it, right? I'm just weird like that. I like to keep everything separated. But I invest a lot of money into my PC, and my console, I haven't even touched it in a long time because there's just not a need to. Anything that I could play on my console, I could just play on my PC. And it's to the point to where my wife wanted to play Marvel Rivals with me last week or whatever, and I just ended up putting the console in the living room, on the TV for her. And, even like the kids, like even they have PCs and stuff. So it's just like, I don't want to have to go and like get my console and bring it in here and then reset up everything for like recording and stuff, like to run through the console, and then have to go back to using a headset because I'm on Xbox, and for some strange reason, they don't even let you use like a regular microphone through Xbox. It's just, it's irritating, right? Like, to think that if I did want to play the game, I would have to play it on console just to not have to get hacked on 24/7. And that's irritating. As someone who has never even, I could even tell you how to get to a hack because I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror. So like, as someone who plays legitimately, It's just a slap in the face. You know, I play so many other games and I don't have to deal with that. And if they can figure it out, I know COD can. You know, it's not like there's like only one dude out there who knows this information on how to stop hackers, and he's just only dealing with specific companies or something. That's preposterous. Like, come on, like what are we talking about here, right? So, you know, that's just kind of like my thoughts on it, though. But like I said, though, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like, new season, are you excited for it? Do you not care? Are you feeling just as, you know, irritated with just Activision all around, and the fact that Microsoft was supposed to be the saving grace when it came to Call of Duty, and it seems like nothing has changed at all whatsoever. If anything, it's just gotten worse. I mean, just let me know in the comments. So, but this is Father Dark, and I'm out.